10 years ago, my mom said no more chemotherapy and asked me what to do instead. I built my YouTube channel around this foundation, but I regret it. If my mom hadn't got sick, you would not be watching this. I wrote our story, Any Way You Can, sharing the devastation that cancer had on my mom. And I'm the internist who brokered every one of those medical decisions. And it was killing her. The cancer and the chemotherapy and all the drugs we used turned her into a zombie, a gray shell of herself. She believed that death was better than living that way, and I wouldn't disagree. When she asked me, if it was you, what would you do? I recall that question being asked dozens of times before, who I lied to. Yeah, I told them the standard treatment that was recommended by the guidelines of Western medicine. Lying to those previous patients might send me to hell, but lying to my mom certainly would. What would I do if it were me? An advanced ketogenic diet was the answer, but I couldn't just drop that on her. Against all logic and all reason, my mom trusted me. And by the grace of God, that advanced ketogenic diet rescued her from the edge of life. And then more. Her Mary Poppins personality had returned, and I got my mom back. I could not wait to teach the world how to use this advanced chemistry to help the other people with their medical problems, not just cancer. Fast forward to now, my world looks a lot different, but don't forget that the foundation was built on that heroic cancer recovery. Now, that cancer diagnosis is scary in everybody's life, and folks will take desperate measures when that diagnosis turns their world upside down. A few years ago, someone offered me $50,000 to help them through their cancer fiasco, and I said no. Many folks will drive hours to my free weekly support group, and sadly, they never even get to introduce themselves to me. In their valley of desperation that a cancer has shown up in their life, they kind of think that proximity to me will teach them about a ketogenic diet, and hopefully they'll leave an advanced clinician. But that's not how it works. What I regret is building my message around the moment when my mom refused cancer treatment. Let me disappoint many of you. I am not against pills and treatment. I do not throw the science and medicine out with the bathwater. Now, I chirp from the rooftops about how broken our medical system is today, but I am halfway through my third decade of serving patients with chronic medical problems, using labs and medications and all things Western medicine. By adding the ketogenic diet, I am way better at solving these problems than I ever was. My favorite moments over the last several years using the ketogenic diet with Western medicine is when my students go back to their doctors and show them the impossible, that they got off their insulin, off their metformin, off their blood pressure medicines because they used a ketogenic diet to undo that chronic problem. And those doctors' minds are blown. It will change the way they treat patients forever going forward. Cancer might be the worst metabolic disease, and part of what fueled that cancer came from years of excess insulin. This was true in my mom, and it's true in many of my patients. In short order, we show folks how to feel healthy right now by reducing that insulin, improving their metabolism, and reduction of inflammation just through a ketogenic lifestyle. But what I love teaching is how to prevent cancer from ever coming into their life with a much longer strategy, something you can't get with a couple of visits with me. So, what's my advice for you? The difference between how I help my mom and how I can help you is that I served her in a way I can't serve those viewing this video. I lived with her. She lived with us. We did this ketogenic together, and by golly, that is absolutely necessary. If you have chronic disease, you gotta do it with a friend. My mom said no to chemotherapy after a decade of the standard cancer treatment. But then her story changed, and we tweaked some of our medications and we tweaked some of our options because that was the right choice in the moment for her. And by the grace of God, she did well. But that does not mean it's the right answer for you. And those same decisions need to be made by you and somebody who knows your medical history. Here's what I can say. I have hope for you. I have hope if you have cancer or if you have chronic medical problems. And when my mom and I did this, it was 2015, where there was a lot more theory than science. Now we have promising results that cancer research connects ketosis and fasting with better outcomes and enhanced treatment efficiencies and reduction in the complications from chemotherapy. My teachings don't get better when you move closer to me. Head to the show notes for some free options or easy options that you could start right now. I've been to this journey and watched many people crash and burn. Click here to see why most people fail to make this stick.